Hey guys, how we doing? Ross from Hack Perception back again. 2015, we're hacked in the field today. We're in the market town of Chippenham. I'm here to see PictureHouse Tattoo. PictureHouse Tattoo is a really interesting tattoo studio that I found that's predominantly run by some really high-level female artists. I've been here before. I've seen Hamill, she's fantastic. She did my first tattoo, a really nice Buddhist mantra piece. So today I'm hoping to speak to the owner, Cohen, and catch some of the other artists, get a little bit about, you know, how it all started, the culture of tattoo, what the art of tattoo means in the modern age, and really what inspired these artists to get into tattoo, because they're all very, very talented artists outside of tattoo as well, talented with pencils, charcoals, all sorts of different things. So only going to be a short one today. I'm trying to keep these hacks in the field not too long, but hopefully it'll be interesting for you guys and we'll get to see some cool artwork. Going over now to speak to Cohen, who is the owner and manager of PictureHouse Tattoo. Chantal, how are we doing?
Good, thanks.
Just wanted to talk to you a little bit really and just sort of get a vibe of, you know, where did you start in the business and how did you sort of get to be at PictureHouse?
I started in Australia.
Okay.
Did my apprenticeship out there, worked for different like biker type groups, which is how it's done out there. And then when I moved back here, I worked a couple of studios, and I got to the point I was unhappy working for other people, where I could see how things could be done better and a happier environment. So I thought it's time to open up my own place.
Set your own place, yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of inspired you to do tattoo in the first place? You know, what was your kind of drive to get involved?
Art. Always loved art. Drawn since I was little. My mum used to have to buy wallpaper for me to draw on because pads were too expensive because I went through too many. So, and then when I was 14, I saw a girl with like a tribal band around her waist, and I fell in love. I was like, oh my god!
Awesome. When
we got a tattoo the next day, and that was it for me. It was like, this is what I want to do. So, brilliant. Yeah.
And do you still do other types of artwork?
Yeah. I paint. I've done my diploma in fine arts, so I love sculpture and ceramics as well. It's one of my favourite things to do outside of tattooing. And
one of the things that sort of stood out to me when I was sort of looking for places, apart from the quality of the artwork obviously, was that it's a female run and lots of female artists here. Is that something that you find a lot in the UK tattoo industry, or is it more unusual, do you think?
No, it's still male dominated. There's a lot more female artists coming about now and getting involved, which is good. Yeah, no, that wasn't purpose. There tends to be male tattoos tend to be a lot grumpier. Yeah. So, and I wanted a fun, happy environment. So yeah, so it kind of they descended on me. I didn't really get much choice with them. But yeah, it's worked out good.
That's cool. We're probably gonna have a chat with some of the other artists as well later on today. But the last thing I just wanted to ask you really was, what have you got planned for the future? What are you going to any sort of exhibitions? Have you got any big pieces you're going to be working on? Stuff you want to sort of share with the Hack Perception community?
I've just been put into a book that's been published worldwide, and that's based on the top 16 female tattoo artists of the world. So that's coming out this year, which is pretty good to be in that. That's a pretty big deal, yeah. It's a big deal. Yeah. And I've been asked to go out to the Evergreen Convention in Springfield, Oregon to represent 451 Inks, an electro stencil brand that I'm sponsored by. So when I'm out there tattooing, I'll be tattooing some of the top UFC fighters.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
That's really cool actually, because that's something that will connect with some of our Hack Perception viewers. We've got quite a few guys who are into sort of jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts and stuff like that. So.
Well, I do it myself.
So. Oh, do you as well? Yeah. Do you train MMA? Or? Yeah,
I do jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's another conversation we'll have to have at some point. But I know you've got a dash, so I'm not going to keep you, but no, I really appreciate it. And obviously I'm going to put all the links up at the end of the video so people can check out the website and the Facebook.
Okay, awesome.
And yeah, just really appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Cheers. So we're here a bit later on in the day. As you can see, I'm probably looking a bit tired. I'm here with one of the other artists, Hamill. Just wanted to talk to Claire a little bit about her inspiration, about how she got into working with tattoo, basically.
How did I start?
Yeah. What inspired you to get involved with tattoo, basically, get into being a tattoo artist?
I think it was after I had my first tattoo, and I realised it was an art form that I could do, and it was interesting, and I liked tattoos, and I wanted to do something cool.
And do you still do other types of artwork as well? Is it primarily like tattoo you work with now?
No, I do lots at home now. So I've started doing loads of charcoal drawings, which I really love as a medium. Do a lot of pencil sketches, and mainly charcoal at the moment. One thing I'd love to do is oils, but I haven't got around to doing that, and I need to learn how to do that.
Okay. And do you do? You obviously work here, but do you do any sort of conventions? Do you sort of travel around and do stuff?
Yeah, I do a couple of conventions a year. I think I'm doing like 4 this year, but they take a lot of time and a lot of organising, and they can be quite expensive. So I don't want to do like too many because I don't want to not be at the studio. But I'm planning to do a few guest spots this year as well, where I'm going to go to other people's studios and just work for like a couple of days, and then learn off them and meet some new people.
And have you got any kind of particular, like, what would you say is like your style, or things that you like doing?
Oh, it's so difficult. I think if you looked at my work, you'd definitely if all together, you'd be like, yeah, you can tell it's done by one person. But I'm really lucky in the sense that every day is quite different. But this kind of what I'm doing on you, I like a lot of stuff that's got some kind of culture.
Just swing that on round, Joe, just get a little picture of what Claire's working on. So I've seen a lot of your stuff when I looked at your profile online. You do a lot of really detailed, kind of intricate stuff. So
yeah.
That's one of your favourite.
Yeah, I love doing detail, and it kind of things a little bit fantasy in the sense of sticking a lot of imagery together and creating something a bit different rather than just slapping one image on. I like lots of layers, and anything that's a little bit difficult for me usually is fun. Which I like.
Cool, I'm going to just grab the camera off Joe, who's kindly been holding it for me. Joe is the only male artist in this studio, so he works in a room full of women all day. How's that for you, Joe?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
They're not girly girls, so it's all good fun.
And same sort of questions to you, really, Joe. How did you get into becoming a tattoo artist, and what sort of inspired you?
Well, I've always liked drawing. I wish I'd got into it a lot earlier, to be honest. But then I just left school, just started a normal job to get by. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Just got bored of it basically. And
what made you sort of take that step then from going out of a normal job to going full time?
Just boredom, just had enough of it. Yeah, just knew a normal 9 to 5, just couldn't do it anymore.
That's
just
cool.
need to work for myself.
Wicked, man. And what would you say is your sort of preferred style, or the things that inspire you?
I prefer to do more sort of traditional and neo-traditional sort of pieces. But yeah, I don't want to limit myself to just doing that. I'd happily give anything a go, really. So.
Yeah. And how long have you worked here?
I've worked here for just over a year now.
That's cool, man. And do you do any other things as well? Do you go out and do the sort of exhibitions and stuff like that, or are you mainly based in the studio here?
Mainly based in the studio, but I've done my first convention last year at Donington. But yeah, I'm hoping to do more conventions this year. So
cool.
Yeah,
is there anything you sort of got coming up, or anything that you want to sort of share? Anything that you got exciting sort of in the books?
Not that, no. I'd like to do some guest spots at other studios and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's still early days for me. I've only been tattooing for about a year, so yeah, things are going well.
No, wicked, man. I appreciate that.
That's okay.
I'm just going to pass that camera back to you now, so you can turn it off. No, thank you.
I'm really excited. Are you excited, guys?
We're very excited. I don't think I've ever been more excited.
I'm going to get the camera back. So, last interview of the day, I've got Steph here with us. How you doing, Steph?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
What have you been working on today?
Really fun moth.
Cool.
Yes.
So I've been kind of asking all the guys who worked here similar kind of questions just to get a vibe of how you got into being a tattoo artist and what kind of inspires you. So I guess first off, how did you arrive at PictureHouse Tattoo?
That's a bit of a long story, but I will try and give you the abridged version because I'm sure it will be easier. I trained as a scientist and art was like my hobby all the time.
Bit of a departure then.
And yes. And I finally realised, after doing several degrees in various things, that I would actually rather be doing things I enjoy all day. So I built up a portfolio and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, getting a tattoo off Chantal, and she was looking for an apprentice to open a studio. So that's how I got it.
That's pretty cool. So things happen for a reason, yeah?
Yes, right place, right time.
Yeah, awesome. So what would you say is like your style, or what your kind of artwork? What kind of inspires you?
I love gothic stuff, mostly. So and animals, anything animal-y, I'm quite happy to do. I love doing black and grey, a bit of realism, a bit of traditional, bright colours. It's really nice to be able to do a mixture. It makes it more exciting. So do you find how do you find it working with the guys here? Seems like a fun bunch. They're arseholes, all of them.
Well, especially Claire, right?
Yeah, definitely Claire.
Yeah.
I love them to bits, my family.
Yeah. No, it's one of the things I was saying before. It just seems like it's a really good vibe here. It's like a sort of real sort of family vibe, and everyone has a good time by the looks of it. So
yeah.
But you all hate each other, really. Yeah.
Hate, love, hate.
So have you got any kind of things coming up or stuff you're working on at the moment that you're excited about, or little side projects, anything like that? Yeah.
Well, I'm just getting into doing conventions. I did one last year, which was absolutely terrifying, but also quite exciting. So I'm going to try and get into doing a few more of those. Just get better at my artwork, really, and see how it goes.
And do you find that, someone I mentioned to Chantal, do you find that there are more and more women getting involved in tattoo now? Do you think it's something that's sort of growing in the UK? Or do you think it's still a bit of a niche kind of?
I don't think I'm in a position to say much about that. I get tattooed by a lot of women, but I've had tattoos of guys as well, and it just depends on the style of artwork that they do and if I like it. If I like it, I'm having it. So yeah, I've got a real mixture, but it's they're all people, so I don't think there's any kind of split. If they're good artists, they're good artists.
Yeah. Not to sort of draw a line of saying who's better or not. I just thought it was quite interesting that there's. I think Chantal was kind of suggesting that she still feels that the industry's probably male dominated still, but there's more and more kind of female artists coming through now. So
yeah, I mean, well, there's the obvious like top male artists that are really well known in the world, but there's now quite a few females that are up ranking with them. So especially if you look on Instagram and how many followers people have got, like people like Teresa Sharp, she's just like gone off the map, hasn't she? So I guess
cool. And you mentioned about sort of conventions that you're going to start sort of doing. What are you going to be working on next?
That's the worst question ever. What do you mean working on next?
I mean, what's the convention? Tell people what you're doing.
Okay, well, we're all heading up to Liverpool, Tattoo Convention, which should be awesome. And just going to have a really good time and do some sick tattoos. And
when is that?
Don't know. It's in May.
In May, right. So if people want to go up and see work, they can check it out.
Yes. Yeah. I'll check out Instagram. I'm on Instagram.
Yeah. Cool.
Steph or Viva Water, because I do taxidermy as well. Plug. Shameless.
Nice. Cool.
So I love making things out of dead stuff. It's all good.
So you get sort of mixing that scientific and art background.
Yes, Well, I got into liking stuff like that because I like anatomy, and I trained as a pathologist as well. So that kind of interest kind of developed from there, and then everything kind of combines really nicely together. So,
cool.
Happy times for Steph.
Nice one. Appreciate it, Steph. Cheers.
Welcome.